Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective. This is the last perspective before the new year, right? Wow, I know. Happy New Year's Eve. Happy New Year's Eve. How is everyone today? It's Friday. It's Friday, heading on into the weekend. It's going to be super fun. Me, Netflix, and chill. Actually, there's a lot of movies I want to see, so I think I'm going to up and change my game of what my original plan for tonight was going to be, which was to binge watch a TV or binge watch a Netflix show. But now I think I'm just going to watch some movies, have some Guinness, eat some popcorn, all the fun things, right? All the fun things as we head into midnight. Celebrate New Year's, the turning of New Year's with Pixel, because no doubt she'll be hunkering down like a kitty cat on my lap. That's my fun, exciting evening. I hope everybody else has a wonderful evening and that you're doing exactly what it is you want to be doing. I know it's a little bit different right now, and things are a bit challenging, and so a lot of people might be Zooming, some people might be having small gatherings. Whatever you do, just be safe, okay? And by that I mean, be safe going to and from where you're going. Just be cautious, okay? Because there's a lot of crazy people out there on New Year's Eve. And heading into New Year's Day. So keep your spidey senses up. All right. So it is Aloha Friday. It's Aloha Oracle Friday. And it is number 25. Number 25 in our self-love tool belt. So we are on the final task. Like I said, I will be posting these. I will be posting the entire list today. I will do it in a separate blog from the blog I will be doing today. Number 25. It is Oracle Friday, so I don't have any cards to pull right off the bat. So let's just get going, okay? Write yourself a thank you note. Oh, I forgot to finish that. Write yourself a thank you letter. Whether it covers the last month that we've been doing this, or whether it just covers a cycle or a journey that you've been going through, write yourself a thank you letter, because without you, you couldn't do it, right? Without you, you could not do this. It can be hard. It can be challenging at times. There are times when you just want to quit and say, F it, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. And you just throw yourself onto the bed like a tantrum child and cry. And that's okay, because life will do that to us sometimes. Life will literally body slam us and say, okay, you ready for more? Don't ask what else can happen, okay? We've talked about that. Believe that good things can come to you, okay? Remember what I said when you wake up in the morning. I affirm that today only good things will come to me. I mean, it's right here. Oh, I affirm that today only good shall come to me. I affirm that today only good shall come to me. These are the list of things that I pick and choose from every morning. Faith is believing in what you cannot see. Faith is believing in what you cannot see. And a lot of times we lack that faith. Good morning, older sibling. So I wrote myself a tiny note in the book. And I'm going to share it with you to kind of give some people that idea. There's a lot of people. I've been talking to some people this week on the side in Messenger, and a lot of them have been curious about shadow work. A lot of them aren't sure how to start shadow work. They're really, I'm sure there's a set way to do it. There's little tips and pointers and hints and all these other clues. And I did post that article in a couple weeks ago on what we were actually talking about when we were doing that part of part 1 and part 2 of shadow work. But really, it's sitting down and discovering who you are underneath all of life's stuff, under all the conditioning that we've been put through in our lives. It's getting back to the base of who we are, our foundations, our core, and deciding who we want to be. And a lot of times we don't get to decide that early on because other people are deciding things for us, or we're being fed limiting beliefs, or we're being fed, things that aren't particularly true in our lives, and or that fit who we are. And I don't. Some people will say, "Oh, well, I was fed lies all my life." No, you were fed what somebody truly believed, and that they thought would be best for you. 9 times out of 10, that's just an expression, not an actual stat. People are going to tell you what they feel is going to work for you because maybe it worked for them. But in all truth, you have to decide what works best for you. Only you can truly decide that. It's just like yesterday. Only you are in charge of your happiness. Don't put the key to your happiness in someone else's pocket. A lot of times we do this and we people please because we are insecure inside. And it could be from limiting beliefs of, maybe you got bullied on the schoolyard, or maybe you got picked on, in familial situations. There's a million different things. Okay, I had a cousin who bullied me growing up, and it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. But fortunately, it was only in the summer, so I didn't have to worry about it the rest of the time. But I did get bullied in school. And so you start thinking you're not good enough, that you're not special enough, that you're not worthy enough, that you're not enough of this, you're not enough of that. One of the things I've always kind of subconsciously struggled with in my life is being. I know a lot of people are going to take offense to this, but is being a half-breed, being a mixed breed. And I mean, it doesn't bother me to say that to myself, and I certainly wouldn't say it to somebody else. But it's how I feel. And I don't say it in a derogatory way. It is what it is. I'm half white, I'm half Asian, part Polynesian, and to be honest with you, being Filipino, we skip from day to day wondering if we're Pacific Islanders or Asians. But apparently I also have Chinese in me, so ta-da, Asian. But I know all the stuff you don't need to know. But the reason I'm sharing it is because there are times when people of specific things do not make us feel like we're enough. I had a cousin that always told me, you're not Hawaiian enough. You don't live here, and it would make fun of my California accent because I didn't sound like everybody else. And when you're a kid and you're already being bullied and you're already going through trauma that nobody knows about, it really starts to mess with your psyche, and it really starts to mess with your self-esteem. And these things start to build up, and they build up to a point that when we get to be adults, we start questioning who we are. Be who you feel comfortable being. It's not always going to be easy. I know it's easier said than done. It's not always going to be easy. There are times when there are many obstacles we are going to have to jump over and climb over, no matter what your situation is, no matter what your nationality is. Okay? I mean, at the heart of it, I'm American. Straight up. All right? Good morning, Auntie Debbie. But, I think when it comes down to it, this is why number 25 in Self-Love December is perfect in the sense that it is write yourself a thank you note. Because you've made it this far. Even if you've never had anything, that you've never suffered through anything, you've never had trauma or whatever, still write yourself a thank you note. I mean, if you've been following along in Self-Love December, then there's a reason you're here. Maybe you feel like you're lacking somewhere. Maybe you feel like you're not feeling enough of what, like this happiness, joy, whatever it is. Maybe you're seeing other people and wanting the same things. It all starts in here, and it all starts with you. Okay? And, like I said, it can be hard. It can be scary. But when I was talking to some people this week about the shadow work, one person said they were afraid to start because they're afraid they're going to go too deep. The only way to do proper shadow work is to go as deep and deeper as you can. It's going to be scary. It's going to be hard. But as you start to heal these things that are buried so deep within, there's a sense of accomplishment that comes with it. And that in itself is the reward. There's this sense of peace that you start to feel, this sense of, wow, I can do anything. The hardest part I've had since coming full circle last week or the week before is that finding that new footing and just expecting everything to be like that when, you're rebuilding. It's a rebuilding process now. When a building gets torn down, it's not just rebuilt in one day. It's built from that foundation up again, right? So that's sometimes the struggle for a lot of people. But don't push yourself. Be patient. And don't fall back into old mindsets. Okay? This is why I'm going to list all these tools, because I want people to have this with them, to have this list when they go into 2022. Because, we're heading into a new year. I mean, yeah, sure, tomorrow is a new year, but it's also Saturday. Okay? I mean, let's be honest. The only thing that really changes is the date. But it's also a reset button. It's time for you to say, okay, what goals do I have for myself this year? And make them realistic. Sometimes we sit there and say, well, I love all these people that start diets in January. Seriously? Good luck in February, all right? Some people stick with it, but others don't. And then they feel bad about themselves, and they push themselves, they shame themselves. And then it's that whole cycle again. Take each moment at a time. If you can't take it day by day, take each moment at a time. Try to push yourself to do new things. If there's an exercise regimen you want to try, give it a whirl. It doesn't mean you have to do it every day. A lot of people who work out, believe it or not, they have arm day, leg day, chest day, butt day. I kid you not. They're not sitting there trying to work out every single muscle in their body every single day. They have different days for it. Sometimes they might mix leg and butt day together, which kind of I think are the same thing. I don't know. I was just kind of making that up as I went along. But they do. They have leg day. They have arm day. And this, I think, takes the pressure off, because you're not sitting there trying to run around the gym doing 5 million things, or they're not trying to run outside and do 5 million things. Just come up with a reasonable plan for yourself. Okay. I myself am going to try yoga. Don't know if I'm going to be good at it or not. I love Qigong. Qigong has been wow for me, but I slip away from routines. So my goal is to create a routine and stick with it, to just kind of work myself out of my negative mindset, out of my head, because sometimes I get so wrapped up in my head that I just sit down at my desk and I just goof off for like an hour when I could be doing something more productive with my time. So that's just me. Okay. Sometimes people need that hour to wake up. There are a lot of other things I could be doing. Instead of just sitting here, I could also be writing, but I have put so many obstacles in my own path that now that I've come full circle, I am spending that time removing these obstacles. Okay. And what I need to do is just kind of like go Hulk on it and smash it all. All right. Hulk smash. So anyways, number 25, self-love December, our final task. Write yourself a thank you note. And this is what I wrote. And it says, you did it. You did it. You made it. And I am proud of you. So I wrote, Dear Shelley Marie, because I'm very formal with myself. Dear Shelley Marie, thank you for not quitting on us and for seeing this journey through, even when you weren't sure you could keep going or even wanted to. Thank you for digging so deep that emotional healing goal was finally struck. There is always going to be something to learn, but you made it and now, my writing, now is time to celebrate, because you've given yourself the tools to help keep you going, even on the hard days. Better days are arriving now because my writing, I swear to you, I'm so sorry, guys. Better days are arriving now because you're allowing the good to come into your life. Remember, keep moving forward, and no matter what, don't ever quit. Love always, yourself. Okay, I'm going to read that one more time without tripping all over it. So this is my letter to me. And the reason I'm sharing this letter, and I'm sure I've written letters to myself in the past, they are actually very therapeutic. They're very helpful. And I think it's your subconscious talking to you and telling you, hey, that a girl or attaboy, I'm sharing this to give people a proper idea of, how to start if they're not sure. Just like with shadow work. I always tell people, keep digging till you find that inner child. For me, I had to actually dive in, find that inner child, and work my way out. So I actually dove to the depths and then spent the time working my way out. I just didn't realize until later that that's actually how I had done it. So I worked a little bit in, then I dove in, and then I worked back out. So kind of I met myself in the middle, So again, dear Shelley Marie, I love my name. Sorry, I do. I love my name. Dear Shelley Marie, thank you for not quitting on us and for seeing the journey through, even when you weren't sure you could keep going or even wanted to. Thank you for digging so deep that emotional healing gold was finally struck. There is always going to be something to learn, but you made it, and now is the time to celebrate, because you've given yourself the tools to keep yourself going, even on the hard days. Better days are arriving now because you're allowing the good to come into your life. Remember, keep moving forward, and no matter what, don't ever quit. Love yourself. Don't ever quit. Please, I implore you to never quit on yourself. If you need to take a break, don't quit. If you need to stop and take a deep breath, don't quit. Give yourself a day or two, give yourself a moment or two, whatever it is that you need, give yourself the time to catch up to yourself. Healing does not happen overnight, all right? My last journey that I was on took 7 years. 7 years to come full circle. Good morning, Debbie Hall. It took 7 years for me to come full circle, and a lot of that was because I was resisting. And one of the reasons why I was resisting the change and going with the flow was simply based on the fact that I was trying to heal like that. I thought that if once I got one thing done, that was it. But there was always something else. And there is always going to be something else. There's always going to be something that surfaces, that hurts you, that you're going to have to heal. You know, I was talking to baby sibling last night, and, you know, I had a few triggers come up, and it was difficult. But it was something that I knew I had to deal with, and I had to process, so I don't overstep and try to fix things. Because I've learned that you can't fix other people either. You can guide them, you can help them if they ask for help, but you can't change other people. You can't make them be someone you want them to be. You know, like I said, you can guide people, but that's about it. So anyways, that was it for number 25, our task number 25. Write yourself a thank you note, write yourself a love note, you know, get all gushy about yourself. Remind yourself who you are, why you are, and what you are. You're a fantastic human being, and you need to know that. But the one person who can truly, truly make you believe that is you. Okay? When I wrote that note yesterday, I was actually a little surprised. I only wrote it last night, and I didn't read it again till this morning. So it was a little new to me, because I wrote it when I was in a little bit of pain, and like emotional pain. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to read it tomorrow with everybody else, because I want it to kind of be a little bit of a surprise. I mean, I had an inkling about what I put in there, but for the most part, I did forget. And the one thing that keeps sticking in my mind is this. I am grateful that I didn't quit, that I didn't give up on myself. And, you know, even as long as it took, and as many times as I wanted to quit, when I did want to quit, I'm also grateful for the fact that I had people come up and lift me up by the arms and say, you know what, we can't make you walk forward, but we're going to stand you back up on your feet. And when you're ready, we'll let go. You know, when you're ready to continue on your journey, we'll let go and let you walk on your own. But we'll always be here with you to make sure that when you fall, you have help getting back up. That is so important. Having a support group can be life-changing. And the way you have a support group is you trust people. You allow people into your inner circle. You ask them for help. It's okay to ask for help. You know, I've been through a lot of things in my life where it took more strength to ask for help than it did to just keep, you know, wondering, well, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? Because I didn't want to bother anyone. And I tell you, I will turn around and literally say, you know what? Why, you know, I've literally had people come back and tell me, well, you never asked for help because you don't want to bother anybody. And then I'll sit there and tell them, but I do now. And it's like, what would you do if I was asking for help? Or I didn't want to ask for help? Sibling and I go through this a lot. What would you do if I didn't ask you for help? And then it's kind of like that stunned silence. So, thank you, Auntie. I love you too. And yeah, it's... I tell you, there's always something, right? I mean, everybody has their own thing. Everybody truly has their own thing. But, like I said, it's also Aloha Oracle Friday. So I'm going to be doing some of the cards for the rest of this. We have a new year coming This one is the healing deck, and I felt very, very compelled to pull something from here because I think as we head into the new year, it's important to really kind of find our footing and find our ground. You know, I'm not making any resolutions this year. I mean, I know I shared about wanting to try yoga, but that's just something I want to try. You know, that's not something I'm sure I'm going to stick with because, you know, I'd like to though. It looks fun, and it looks, I mean, it does look hard, but it looks very, I can't think of the word I'm trying to think of. It looks very, relaxing in a weird way, you know, but also like you get a excellent, finally, a good workout. Oh, say what you mean. All right, communication. Say what you mean. Let's see what this card has to say. Number 18. That's a good number. Take some time to clarify what you need to communicate and to whom. Honest communication begins with you. Take a moment to connect within and ask yourself, in what area of your life are you hiding and denying how you feel? Does your relationship with your partner need revamping? Are there things that are not working? Who are the people in your life that you must be honest with? This is your opportunity to take back your power and share clearly, wisely, and honestly what does and does not work for you. When you feel vulnerable, you can easily be swayed to say what you feel the other person wants to hear in order to keep the peace. The message of this card is that you need to say what you really mean, whether someone likes it or not. I really think we kind of covered that in self-love, didn't we? Because, you know, there's a lot of things I think I said that I don't think a lot of people wanted to hear. But that is a perfect card to start your self-healing with, to start your shadow work with, to start that journey if you're not already on that journey, with honest communication with yourself and with others. This doesn't mean you have to say it harsh, okay? There is a tone that you can use. And I think a lot of people forget that there is a tone. And sometimes when we come off with the wrong tone and get off on the wrong foot, that's where a lot of times our arguments start. You know, somebody might misread it. So if somebody does ask you a question, I mean, you don't have to just be honest with somebody if they're not asking for your opinion. Not everybody wants your opinion, because really, honestly, that's an opinion. But if someone is asking you a question, be honest. Be honest. You know, I've been in situations where I've had family members that have dated people, and it's just kind of been like, what were you thinking? And at first you never knew. It seemed like okay, right? But then, and the same things happen to me. That all of a sudden when you break up with somebody, they're all like, oh, thank goodness you finally came to your senses. Like, why didn't anyone say something to me? But the question is, would you have listened? So the flip side of that is, if you're going to ask the question, be ready for a response you may not want to hear. Okay? But just know that somebody is coming, you know, feel it out. A lot of times you can tell whether somebody is being genuine with their feelings, or if they're just being hurtful, or they're jealous or something. But just feel it out, okay? But if there is a situation that you are in, whether it's with a partner, a family member, maybe a parental relationship, whatever it is, a friendship, sisterhood, brotherhood, be honest with one another. Always communicate openly. If you do not hide things from other people, you are not going to have to worry about hiding anything from other people. Okay? That's why open communication is a good thing to have. So, I also have the goddess Isis deck, the Egyptian goddess. Let's see what wisdom she has for us today. I'm trying to find a lot of things that are just more like wisdom type cards to go into the new year with some different mindsets and thinking. And if you can hear any of the background noise, I apologize. I am literally, they're working on the carports outside, so and I think the gardener just got here, so it's gonna be a noise fest pretty soon. Woo! Pretty soon. So, all right, let's see what these two have to say. Okay, number 1, the High Priestess. That's Isis. A mystery is to be unveiled. A new clarity around your direction is unfolding. Be willing to wait for the full reveal, but also recognize what is happening at this time. You will be gaining valuable insight into where you are being led and for what purpose. So basically, go with the flow. Go with the flow. Don't rush it. Let it unfold before you. Don't push it. And also don't try to peek behind the curtain, because that's resisting. That's not going with the flow. So, and that's, yeah, that never works out. But also, let it be a surprise, right? You know, I always say that as a Capricorn, but I realize I'm not like a lot of Capricorns, and that's my astrological sign, but I'm not like a lot of them. So I kind of feel like sometimes I'm just floating out in the wind, being my own person, and then you meet somebody else, and then you find out that there's more to being whatever sign it is that we are. And I know not everybody buys into that, you know, but for the most part, I actually fit a lot of what I fall under, the sign I fall under. But there are other things that I don't, and I don't understand it sometimes, you know. And I love to surprise people, but you know, but I'm the most impatient person in the world. And I don't mean impatient in the sense that, you know, it's like, well, yeah, I mean, patience is not my strong suit. I am working on it. I am working on it so hard. But waiting for things, it's not my strength. And yet patience is supposed to be a strength of a cat. Well, I thought it was. Maybe it's impatience. Maybe I do fall under that. I don't know. I got to look it up again. Who knows, right? I should read the book on me again. But the book of Capricorns. Oh God, I'm a rambling idiot right now. But oh, this is funny. This card came right after the High Priestess. But wait for your divine destiny. Don't push it. Don't try to, again, don't peek behind the curtain, because, you know, if you peek behind the curtain, it might ruin the surprise. All right. It might ruin the surprise that, you know, source or the universe or God is trying to bring to you. So, the divine warrior is within you, helping you to continue with a worthy path, even during times of difficulty. When faced with a challenge, a true warrior will summon more of him or herself to the cause. It might be by bringing more wisdom, focus, or intelligence, or surrendering into the divine. The warrior within has great inner resourcefulness and determination. So, peace. Find peace within yourself. But also, surrendering into the divine means going with the flow. All right? Surrender to the flow. Don't push it. Don't rush it. Don't force it. Don't try to make it happen. If you focus on the what, the how will happen. So focus on the what so that your how can happen. And if it doesn't happen in your timing, just know nothing happens in our timing, right? Nothing happens in our timing. There might be times when it just fits the moment. But when you're constantly resisting and you're constantly pushing back, you're just pushing it out of the way is what you're doing. And it's not going to be fair to you, and it's certainly not going to be fair to your life, because you're holding yourself back. You're limiting yourself. So I speak from experience on that, so don't do it. I got 4 of these. Seriously. The sound of the universe. This card signifies those pivotal moments that transcend belief, remind us of a greater reality, and influence us so that life will never be the same again. It symbolizes the sound of the universe. Having your world shaken up even a little can invite a closer glimpse of the great mystery of life. There are myriad ways to peek behind the veil of the mundane. What did I just say? Okay, so apparently there's sometimes when you can peek. So there are myriad ways to peek behind the veil of the mundane. Ecstatic dance, spiritual exploration, and creative pursuits are just a few. Aim to imbue this awareness in your everyday existence so you can avoid the sudden wake-up calls. Listen for the hidden music, harmony, and wonder of your multi-dimensional world. So again, just go with the flow, okay? Good morning, Tammy. Oh good. Thank you, Debbie. Debbie says she can't hear anything. So I got like 2 Debbies on here. I don't know if my aunt's still on, but, so if you hear Debbie, Auntie, it's not you, it's somebody else. But, again, there are a myriad ways to peek behind the veil of the mundane. Ecstatic dance, spiritual exploration, and creative pursuits are just a few. For anybody joining us now, Friday is Aloha Oracle Friday. So normally I talk about something throughout the week, but on Fridays we talk about our subject, which today was number 25 of Self-Love December, and the last task in the Self-Love Tool Belt. And what do you call it? And now we're doing the oracles, because what a fun way to go into the new year, right? So Here's a good one. The sacral chakra. Ooh, the sacral chakra. The core of creation. Revel in the present moment and feel deeply into your senses. The sensuality of being alive, the breeze on your skin, the scent of damp earth, the feeling of aligning perfectly into the temple you call your body. This card is about diving into the depths of the present moment, where all your faculties are available for divine creation. Nothing is left in the past or caught in the future. All of who you are unites in a moment of ecstatic conception. Let yourself drop into passion, intimacy, and loving connection with whatever you are birthing into the world and with whomever you have chosen to co-create. Now, I know, there's a lot of us out there who don't have somebody to co-create with, because the sacral chakra really kind of is your, how do I put it nicely? It's your sex chakra, in a way, but it's also your creativity, right? It's the creation chakra. It's where that passion comes from, that just that creative passion or whatever you're passionate about. It comes from this particular chakra, which sits right above your root and right below your solar plexus. So it's kind of like between the earth and the sun, and that's where you exist. It's where your passions lie, where your creativity, is put into action. But don't get hung up on the co-create part, okay? You are creating things on your own every day in beautiful ways. And in time, when you allow yourself to open up and you allow this flow to come into your life, you'll be able, things will draw to you. So just try to be patient. Try to be, just do what you're doing. Just live your life and let life happen for you. Okay? Balanced forces. The Lemurian people are said to have been androgynous, a perfect balance of what became masculine and feminine energy as it densified in physical form. This card invites you to look at masculine and feminine energy from a more balanced perspective. What needs to happen to form a more holistic and equalized foundation? For more masculine drive and focus, concentrate on goals, desires, and ambitions. If you want to engage more feminine energy for receptivity, trust, flow, and surrender, consider all the things you are already grateful for. Feel the warmth, gratitude, and comfort of knowing everything is divinely perfect and just the way it is. And loving compassion. I like this one. Good morning, Lori. So, bring more love to a situation, whether it is toward yourself or someone connected to the question. There may be a need for forgiveness or for seeing things from a fresh, more expansive perspective. Oh, more perspectives. Remember, you are loved and have unlimited access to the gentle yet transformational force of loving compassion as and when you need it. So, to bring yourself back into your heart, think about those you love and moments with them where you have felt joy. Expand this feeling out to more and more people, creatures, and places until the whole planet is infused with this beautiful, warm, and loving feeling. Create the ripple effect, okay? What this world needs is a great big hug. I mean, it is in desperate need of a great big hug, but we're all too busy pushing each other away for the great big hug to really kind of come into play, right? So start with one person, and the more, the greater you make somebody feel, they're going to spread. Whoa, wow, that was fast. They're going to spread it to somebody else, and then they're going to spread it, and they're going to spread it. Sometimes we try to infuse the world with love in such a big way that we don't always accomplish that, and then we feel bad. But if you start with one person and watch it flow in different directions, you're going to be surprised at what you start to see happening. As for me, or actually anybody else, okay, I guess we only get one card, or anybody else, you touch people every day. My friend that I just said hello to, she's a nurse. She touches people every day. So, just, I guess, be on your best behavior when you can be. People are going to be jerks, and sometimes you just got to kill them with kindness, right? Sometimes you just got to kill them with kindness. So, ask for what you want. That's a perfect card for New Year's, right? Ask for what you want. Let the universe and other people know what you need. All right. So, this card serves as a reminder of the importance of asking for your desires. The universe is much like a restaurant in that you need to put in your order before anything can happen. Your current situation calls for action on your part. First, spend time clarifying your desires. Then tell the universe clearly what you want, or source or God, whatever your higher power is, okay? You can always qualify your request with the prayer, this or something better, so that you don't unwittingly limit yourself. However, you do need to make a clear decision about your desires. And this card also means be honest with the people in your life, tell the universe what you want, write a list of your desires, have a heart-to-heart talk with someone you're in a relationship with about your needs, boundaries, and expectations. Ask others to help you and accept that aid when it's offered. Expect a positive outcome and your expectations will be rewarded. And, if you're going to take on that heart-to-heart with someone that you're in a relationship with, tread lightly, okay? You don't want to hurt people's feelings either, because there are a lot of times when people just do and they don't realize that, maybe they're crossing a boundary or maybe they're overstepping. And partly it's because you're not telling them. So don't wait until you bottle it up so much that you're yelling at them. All right? Or that you're getting defensive. Just say, you know what? I've noticed a few things. Handle it the best way you can, but handle it with kindness, with love and compassion and empathy for the other person. Okay? Try to put yourself in their shoes and why they're coming from the place that they're coming from. But just do it with kindness. And remember, when you're asking this or something better, or this or the equivalent, okay? This or something better, or this or the equivalent. But also, just to make sure that it does not go sideways, add under grace in miraculous ways. Okay? Under grace in miraculous ways. You don't want bad things to benefit you. So that's why I say under grace in miraculous ways, because that means it's going to be something that's more on the up and up than something totally freaky. So I'm going to save the enchanted unicorns for last. But okay, for anyone who wasn't on Christmas Eve, this deck did not disappoint last week. All right, Keepers of the Light. I kid you not, 2 cards popped out of the deck on Christmas Eve. Master Jesus and Mother Mary. And then one just flew out of the deck now. But I mean, it was so funny. It was just the funniest thing. It's kind of like, okay, I hear you, I see you, but it still makes me laugh. Older sibling and I were laughing about that for pretty much the rest of the day. It's like, wow, do you think they had something to say or what? So all right, nothing seems to want to come out of the deck but that card, so we'll just keep it short and sweet. Oh, how about that one? Mary Magdalene. Hi, Jesus. So, the teacher awakens. You have something important to share. Follow the inner call. Don't let anything stop you. All right? Follow the inner call. Do not let anything stop you. So, it's funny. I was just talking about Jesus, and then Mary Magdalene comes up. Anyway. So, the extended message. You have a strong desire to share what you have learned. You may feel people will dismiss you or ridicule, but don't worry. Mary Magdalene is here to guide you through this process. Your vulnerability is actually your greatest strength because you are trusting the power of your soul, and that part of you can never be broken. You are a wonderful teacher and leader, and the world needs you. You are being backed by heaven, so step forward and share all that you have learned. Again, if religion is not your thing, think of her as a teacher. Okay, think of her as a teacher, and you're backed by your source, you're backed by your universe, whatever it is that you throw your admiration towards. Don't get lost in just the content you see in the card. Get lost in the meaning. Get lost, twirl down inside of this and realize that even if you are not an actual teacher, even if you're not someone who does a show like this, even if you're not someone who, has a TV show or a talk show or a radio show, or a podcast, you're still teaching people every day. You're teaching people how to treat you if you don't speak up for yourself. You're teaching children. You might be teaching coworkers. Everything we do can plant a seed in somebody else's head. Everything that we say can plant a seed in somebody else's head. And so what we want to do is make these things beautiful things, make these things positive. And, I used to worry about doing this because I thought, God, am I just blowing so much smoke up people's asses that, they don't want to listen. They don't want to hear it. Am I being too positive? I'm not positive every day, guys. I'm not positive in every moment of my day. All right. But I know that when I fall down, I'm going to fall on the positivity cushion, because eventually I know it's going to get better. And as I started to believe that, I realized I started bouncing back a lot quicker. The other day, I can't remember if it was Monday or Tuesday or maybe even Wednesday. I don't remember what day it was. It may have been Wednesday. I had a total just mental spasm. Okay. My depression kicked in so hard, it felt like a donkey just kicking me in the teeth. All right. I mean, it knocked me out. But the whole time that I felt really kind of just like I was in a free fall, I kept reminding myself, it's going to be okay. Just go through what you have to go through, feel what you have to feel, heal it, write about it, whatever you have to, whatever tool you need to pick out of that toolbox of self-love, do it, because it will get better. Just hang on till the next sunrise. And I did. And the next day I started feeling significantly better. Not 100%, but I started to feel better. And I started to realize, wow, it's funny how when you don't resist some things, they can start to feel better. When you don't shame yourself for having these feelings, they can feel better. That's what she's teaching. In the Bible, when she goes to tend to Jesus, everybody's sitting there like, oh, you shouldn't be touching him. You're a hoe. Okay. I mean, they didn't put it like that, but Jesus saw her. He looked through what everybody else saw on the outside, and he looked at her from the inside and said, and basically was telling everybody, hey, back off. Okay. Who are you to judge? Are you perfect? No. None of us are perfect. I am perfectly imperfect. That's about as perfect as I'm going to get. It's perfectly imperfect. And I love that about myself. I love that I finally am in a place where I can say I'm perfectly imperfect, and it doesn't feel like I'm trying to beat someone to a punchline. I like being imperfect because I see my flaws and I use them to my advantage, or what my perceived flaws. I mean, one of my perceived flaws is having depression, but I get feedback from people who say, who do thank me. I mean, this isn't tooting my own horn, but who do thank me, and and for giving them these tools, for showing them, hey, if you can make it through, I can make it through. Because I've had someone else do that for me. I've had someone else show me the way. I've had someone else guide me. Okay, so let's not be judgmental. Let's remind ourselves how to teach, those around us, and how to set a good example for other people. Now, our final deck of the year. Happy New Year's from the Enchanted Unicorn Oracle. I love this deck. I absolutely love this deck. I told older sibling, my next tattoo, I want it to be the Blossom card, because that unicorn is so freaking cute that it brings me joy. I took it down the last time and I put it back in the deck just in case it had to come up. But I had it on my desk for a long time because it just brings me the greatest joy in the whole world. It's so cute. It's just so happy. I'm going to see if I can find it. If it doesn't come out. So, all right, here we got 3 cards, but let me see. Oh, this is my other favorite one, the cupcake one. It's about body positivity, in case you couldn't tell. But this one, guys, I know everyone's probably shaming themselves about now because we're at the end of the holiday season and everyone has probably been chowing down like there's no tomorrow. Please don't body shame yourselves. Please don't let other people body shame you. Show yourself some body love. Okay? Straight up, show yourself some body love. We are who we are. And when we let other people hurt us, we're giving them our power. Don't give other people your power. They don't deserve it. Okay? If they're going to treat you poorly, they don't deserve it. So you do you, and you do you the best way you know how. If there are changes you want to make, then change them. If there are new things you want to try, then try them. But don't get all stuck in somebody else's belief system. Okay, don't get lost. Don't limit yourself to other people's beliefs. This is the card I was talking about. How cute. It even has a third eye. If you look right up the stem. I love this card. I'm putting it back since it didn't pop out today. I'm putting it back. So anyways, all right, we got our last 3, guys, and then we're going to head off, and I'm going to head off into the sunset and see you next year. Divinity, number 19. Balance the physical and the spiritual. Good morning, Auntie Charmaine. Oh, look. Okay, the cupcake came up again. So I'm going to read this one, guys. The body positivity card. The cupcake unicorn appears when your body's size and weight has been playing on your mind. Self-acceptance is the key. This card asks you to lift yourself up from a negative judgment that has been created around the size and weight of the physical body. This is the body positive card. Let go of saying, I have to fit into this, and I should weigh less. Let go of feelings of shame because of your size. If you are kind and thoughtful and healthy, if you make the most of your appearance and keep yourself clean and comfortable, there is no point in worrying about your weight. You do not judge others on their physical size, so why do you judge yourself? If you are kind to others, why not be kind to yourself as well? There is no such thing as taking up too much space. You are perfect just the way you are. Just as there is a certain height and eye color the body is born with, there is also a certain weight your body likes to be. End the struggle and give your body the credit it deserves for keeping you healthy and alive. Make peace with this amazing body temple you were given to enjoy your journey here on earth. Don't shame yourself. Like I said, if there are things you want to change, then change them. But don't, please, I'm going to just say this straight out. Don't diet. Don't diet. As T would say, there's a reason diet starts with the word die. All right? I mean, not that we want to be morbid on the last day of the year, but diets tend to not work. Okay? If you want to change, you're going to have to brave it up and create a lifestyle change. You know, create good habits for yourself. Create new habits for yourself. But crash course or crash diets and all those, they just take you from experience, all right? And not just for me, a lot of people across the board that I've always known. You know, my mom dieted my entire life. I don't know if she dieted her entire life, but as long as I can remember, my mother was always worried about her weight. And she was a beautiful human being, inside and out. You know, I mean, she was kind, empathetic. I mean, yeah, I know that I've talked about her in the past and how her and I did have our issues at times, but what parent-child doesn't? You know, and there was a lot of things I found out about her that made a lot of sense, you know, after she passed away, that made a lot of sense as to why sometimes she could be so hard on me. But, you know, I watched her struggle and I watched her suffer, and I watched her a lot of times not be able to enjoy something fully because she was worried about having to lose that weight after, you know, and I don't want other people to have to go through that. If there's a certain kind of food you like, eat it. Okay? Maybe eat half of it so you have some for later. Or maybe have enough where you can enjoy it and then the craving's gone. But don't shame yourself. Shaming yourself is not going to get you anywhere, okay? All it's going to do is hurt you in the long run and then make you feel ashamed of yourself and make you feel poorly about yourself and bad about yourself. And that's not worth it. It's not worth it. I've spent half my life dieting to the point where now it's just like, you know what? I will let you in on a secret. I am truly struggling with the idea of creating an entire new lifestyle change. But I also know that for my heart, I have to do something. But I'm not shaming myself anymore. I'm not making myself feel bad for all the weight I've gained, for, you know, the weight I do carry around and the pressure I put on my heart, because that's not helping me. All it does is make me feel worse and make me want to eat even more. You know, because I do feel bad because I am an emotional eater. And that's another thing that I have to try to cure and just kind of put back into check. So the more we shame ourselves, the more we're actually shooting ourselves in the foot. So if you want to do yourself a favor, learn to love your body. Stop hating it. Because when you start loving your body, you're going to find that you're going to start taking care of it better. Right? I mean, when you hate an outfit, what do? You throw it out. You don't want it anymore. And maybe it's because you had a bad day. Maybe it's because, you know, it didn't feel like it looked right that day. Maybe you were PMSing. I know, I hate to say that because everybody always, are you PMSing? Are you hungry? Have you eaten yet? I know all the things. I get low blood sugar, so. But yes, it's exactly what T said, self-love. I know, my aunt is reminding me that if it is a health condition, then a lifestyle change is needed. And it is. It really is. And I think I'm finally in this mental place where I know I can make it happen. Because I'm not pushing myself to be different by a certain time. I'm just going to take it moment by moment and day by day. Okay, but it really is about self-love. It is about self-love. But, you know, circling back to that outfit, you know, there are times when we just have a totally bad day, and then you're looking through and you're just trying to get rid of stuff, thinking, I need to purge this, I need to purge that. It's an emotional issue. And then you get rid of this fabulous outfit that you absolutely hate, and then 2 days later you love it, but it's gone. Because the donation people have come to pick it up, or you've given it to somebody else and you're like, oh, I can't take that back now. Stop and think about yourself, okay? Give yourself the love you need. Don't throw out things you love because you're upset. Take a moment. What was the other day? Stay calm and breathe. Stay calm and breathe. That was Wednesdays. So it was Tuesday that I had my total meltdown, because I remember the next day was stay calm and breathe. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath between the emotion and the action. All right, so let's get to divinity. I love that card. It's all Zen, right? This card is totally Zen, like, ooh, I'm having a good day. So, the ancient Buddhist custom of presenting alms in the form of food to monks is strongly represented in this card. This practice reinforces that monks are not elevated above everyone else. They are human and need physical sustenance to continue their religious work. In return for the offerings of food, monks bestow blessings such as long life, health, and happiness upon the giver. Thus, the monks are supported physically and the believers are supported spiritually in a symbiotic relationship that gives the physical and spiritual equal importance. It can be easy to neglect the physical body when concentrating on spiritual pursuits. Were we just talking about this? And here's the funny thing, guys. I have legit never seen this card before. I will go through and bless my cards, but a lot of times when it comes to cards like these, I don't look at them. Okay, I know you're supposed to. I know you're supposed to spend time with them, but I like to be surprised with everybody else. Okay, so it can be easy to neglect the physical body when concentrating on spiritual pursuits. However, the act of preparing, cooking, and eating food, as well as sharing meals with loved ones, can be a divine experience. When feeling overwhelmed, the simple act of sharing a meal can bring healing. And also, if you do believe in angels, I do. Archangel Raphael, you can ask him if you're baking, cooking, making, whatever it is you're making, you can ask him to bless the food, to bless every ingredient. And so it spreads on to those that you are giving it to. The Divinity Unicorn asks us to, that's a tongue twister. The Divinity Unicorn asks us to sustain our body temple for the soul with healthy and delicious food. Food nourishes the body, which in turn allows us to follow the pursuits that feed our souls. Yeah, I love this one. Balance the physical and the spiritual. Balance is a T-nose. Balance is my name in the game we play. The fly trap. Getting stuck in sticky situations. The fly trap. Number 4. Let's see. I find it funny that there is a 1967 in here. That's the year my parents were married. They were quite young, and it took me a while to come along. It took me like 6 years to come along, but like to know what they were doing during that time. But I just love the fact that it is such a random number, and it's the only card in this deck that has a date on it. So I really kind of feel like that validates that my mom drew me to this card. But anyways, oh. Your Auntie Charmaine was right. I know, I call her Auntie because she was with my uncle. She was married to my uncle at one point, but she's not that much older than me. Neither was he. But Hawaii, respect. So anyways, drawing the flytrap unicorn indicates that you are, or about to become, trapped in a sticky situation, whether through obligation, peer pressure, family expectations, financial deals, or a toxic friendship/relationship. Be alert, but not concerned. The appearance of this card is a gift as it makes you aware of a situation that can be easily avoided. The flytrap unicorn encourages the power of discernment and good choices. If something doesn't feel right, don't say yes to it out of obligation or duty or trying to please others. If something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. But still, use your spidey instincts because, believe it or not, some things that are too good to be true are actually that good. So, use your spidey instincts, okay? If an offer from someone sets off uneasy feelings, trust your gut. Can you see where we are going with this? On a more superficial level, employ the power of saying no to requests and invitations that do not bring you joy. Feeling trapped by joyless work or social situations are very good indicators that you are not on the right track. This card encourages you to seek freedom and lightness because right now this is important. Ask yourself what really matters to you. Okay, that was the Venus flytrap. So, that was a rough card, right? But I haven't seen this one. I don't know what it is, but it's the last card. It's the last card for Oracle Friday before we head into the new year. So, what is it? Solar. That doesn't seem very fun. A safe and happy home. But the meaning is, so a safe and happy home. I can't really tell those flowers, like in the picture, in the way I'm seeing it, they look like a Venus flytrap. Okay, those things look like they have teeth, but it says solar, and I'm gonna have to figure. Actually, those might be sunflowers. They don't look like sunflowers in the pictures, but they look like sunflowers. So let's see. Oh, and it's the next card. How about that? Safe and happy home. It is a sunflower. How about that? That did not look like... Was it just me or did those not look like sunflowers? Oh my god, they look terrifying. So anyways, but I do love a good sunflower. A traditional belief holds that each house has its own spirit which guards the hearth and home. This family guardian keeps the house and its inhabitants safe and happy, provided it is honored and acknowledged. In ancient times, householders furnished these spirits with little houses in a wall, niche, or a cupboard, almost like a tiny shrine. Offerings of food and drink were made to the house guardians on a daily basis, and in return, the family was blessed with protection and good fortune. There are stories throughout many cultures about this phenomena, including the Lairs of ancient Rome, the Brownies of Scotland, the Kamodagami of Japan, and the Domovoi of Russia. These guardians are loyal and devoted to keeping the family content and the home secure. The solar unicorn encourages you to make contact with your household guardian. The family home and family dynamics may have been neglected and need more love and attention. Just the intent to focus more on these oft-ignored ideas will start the process of calming and softening the turbulent energy in your home. Work with these little unseen energies. Start by acknowledging the spirit of your house and asking respectfully for the help in creating a safe and happy dwelling. Now, I know that may not be everybody's cup of tea, okay? But if you believe in angels, if you believe in whatever you believe in, just know that when you add love and peace and joy to your home, these things are going to return to you. They're going to return in good ways, in big ways, in beautiful ways. And, you're going to see the difference. You're going to see the changes. Because remember, we are a lot of what we are made of is energy. And if you're having arguments or you're having fights or you're feeling blue or you're feeling despondent or depressed or whatever, you are literally filling your walls with these feelings. And it's not always easy to shoo them out the door once you've done this. So if you do believe in this house spirit, then, do something to let it know you honor it. Now, in the old days, they would give it food and everything. Obviously, that doesn't necessarily work out, okay? But show them respect. Tell them thank you. Just even the walls of your home. I'm so happy and grateful for the walls that shelter me and the roof that covers my head at night. I'm so happy for, the appliances or the refrigerator that keeps my food cold, the stove that heats my food. But remember to thank the walls. Thank your home. Thank your home for being your protection, your guard from the outside. Okay? So I hope everybody has a happy, happy New Year's Eve. Please be safe and sound out there, okay? If you're going out into the world, be careful, be safe, mind your P's and Q's. Don't start fights with people. It's not worth it. Not a good way to end the year. If you're staying home, enjoy. Enjoy. You know, I mean, I'm staying home and I'm going to have a good time because I don't have to worry about driving anywhere. You know, turn off the light, watch the TV like I'm in a theater. So I'm just going to enjoy myself today, and I'm not going to worry about anything else but what is happening in this moment, each moment as it comes. And then after midnight, 12:01, I'm going to bed. So, well, we'll see about that. I don't always sleep that well on the weekends because I know I don't have to force myself to go to sleep. But I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful New Year's Eve. I hope you all have a wonderful New Year's Day. Okay, so here's an Asian tradition on New Year's. And you know, you can do this again for Asian New Year, Chinese New Year. But remember, New Year's Day, eat your noodles. Don't break them. All right, you can have spaghetti, you can have sayin, you can have top ramen, you can have pho, you can have whatever you want, but do not break your noodles. Okay, that will bring good luck, longevity on New Year's. You also do that on your birthday, okay, for longevity. So thank you, Auntie. I love you too. And Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everybody. Have a great day. I will see everybody back here Monday, 2022. 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Facebook Live. It is public. Or you can catch the replay on YouTube within usually within the hour, but not necessarily. That doesn't always happen. And yeah, older siblings talking about black eyed peas. I'll take the noodles. I'm sorry. I've tried the black eyed peas. Not my favorite thing. I like hummus, and I think they make them out of hummus. I think they make hummus out of that, but I'll take the noodles. Plate of chow mein? Yes, please. Bowl of black eyed peas? No, thanks. So, anyways, whatever it is that you do, do it. Do it with love. Do it with, intent. And be kind to one another. All right? I hope that everybody is able to reflect positively on their 2021 because a lot of good things did happen this year. And, we accomplished things. They may not have been pretty things, but when we got to the end of the tunnel, we looked back and said, I did this. And if you're having a moment like that, be proud of yourself. Okay? So have a great day. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And I will see everybody again here on Monday next year on Monday. Have a great day.